Hey guys, it's Kevin here. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. I review all kinds of products, so please do help me out and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy the product you're about to see, go ahead and be sure to hit that like button and share away. All right, so today's product is by a company called Junsun. It is a camera that goes over your rear view mirror. So you may be familiar with, there's a lot of dash cams out there that you just attach them to your front window and your back window, and they record. I'm sure everybody's seen a lot of the various dash recordings, especially out of Russia, etc. So this is a clean way to provide that. It's really cool. It goes over your mirror, and you don't have the big camera sitting there on the windshield. And you'll see I've reviewed both types. So this is the box it comes in. Pretty standard. It shows you kind of some of the features it has, like the mirror, HD video, photos, etc. And then we'll kind of go over everything that you get inside it. Now you're going to see in the corner of the screen, you should be seeing footage of me driving around during the day being recorded with both the front and the back camera, and then you're going to see it switch over to night. So that way you get an idea of what the footage looks like. All right, so when you open it up, you are going to get the charger, which it charges through a cigarette lighter. This is my only complaint with the device. I wish this was actually a USB. My car has a lot more USB than the cigarette lighter, and it would also be easier to demonstrate. We're going to go ahead and try it and see if it holds enough battery power to show you everything, but that's one of the things. It's minor, but it would be nice if it was USB. You're going to get this little plastic device, and what this is used for is to help push and hide the wires as you're installing it. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of a rough way of installing it. If you're nervous, like if you want to install the whole kit, it requires you to kind of really get in there with your car and drill some holes and everything. You know, if you're not really familiar with cars, and maybe you take this up to your local mechanic, I'm sure for a fee they would be willing to install it for you. You're also going to get this little guy right here, which this is just kind of a bonus item in my eyes. It's for, the device takes a USB micro, so you plug it in here and you plug this in your computer and you can access the images. You're of course going to get an instruction manual, which I do recommend that you take a look at. And then you're going to get this little sticky pad with 2 screws. Now that goes to the rear camera. So this is the rear camera. Obviously you have plenty of cable. And so you can use either the sticky pad or you can use the sticky pad and the screws. It goes in here. You adjust the camera to the correct angle and then lock it in place with these little screws. Now this side will plug into the top of the device over the mirror. And you're going to take this cable and run it all the way through your car. And then this little red wire, you're going to hook up to the positive wire of one of your rear reverse lights. And the reason, if you're using this, it's going to then tell the camera that you're backing up, and it's going to put it up in that mode for you. So if you want to use that feature, you need to hook this up to your rear backup lights. Now, another cool thing for the camera, if you are one of those ride share drivers out there, you can also mount this actually up in your car and looking at your back seat. That's kind of how I would use it, and it would be nice if they had a shorter cable, like if this could just plug in right there. So, you know, that way you didn't have to take all this off. But that's okay. What I'll do is I'll end up splicing these 2 pieces together, so it's a lot shorter cable, and go ahead and install it that way. But that would be nice. It would make it a lot simpler. But it's really designed for the back of your car. But my car happens to have a camera in the back, so I don't really need that. Now the last kind of thing you're gonna get these little rubber clips things, and these are for putting it around your existing mirror. So here is the device itself, and like I showed you, the little rubber clip's going to come in here like this, and you're going to attach it like so, and it'll just fit over your mirror. It's a lot bigger, so it actually is really nice because it shows you more. And then you can see the little reflective surface here which will then turn into a screen. So on the bottom here, you're going to have, this is where you're going to plug in, this is where you're going to plug in your back camera. And this is your power cord. Then this is where you put your micro SD card, and then this is for a GPS. So I haven't really used this, but that's a GPS. I'm going to assume Junsun makes GPS devices that you could plug into this too. And then on the bottom here, you have the power button, and then your two microphones. On the back, you have a little speaker, and then you have, of course, the camera itself. I was really surprised. It does 2K video. The imagery is very sharp, so I was surprised by that. So let's try to go ahead and power this on and see if I can get it to turn on, if I have enough juice. There we go. So as you can see, it turns into a screen, and then there's the camera back option. Now, in here, you have a ton of customized settings. So before I go to that, see it's recording in 2K. You can stop the recording if you want by clicking the little button there. You can instantly take a picture. You can mute the mic, settings. You can lock the image. Shows you your battery life. And then the G over here, it has geosensing. So if you get in a car accident or you hit a really big bump in the road, it'll automatically record, and you'll hear a little beep, and it's going to lock that image. So that way it won't delete itself, because this has the option to do time-lapse recording. So once it gets to your memory card is full, it'll go back to the beginning and start erasing over all those other files. But if you hit something, it's going to save that file so it doesn't get erased. And then the P is for parking mode. So once again, it's going to go, the camera will go dormant. But if your car gets bumped, it'll activate the camera and start recording. So, and then it's going to show you here, as you're seeing, it shows the clock and everything. Now, when you're driving, obviously, you can't have an image here, so you can turn it off by just hitting the power button, but it's still going to record. So, that's kind of that. So now we'll go into the settings here. As you can see, like I said, there's a lot of options. You can turn on and off the loop recording. It has a time-lapse mode. You can turn on and off the recording audio. That's the G sensing. That is the parking guard, which you can turn these all off. You can put in your license plate. So if you're using this for like a corporate account and you want them matched to your various workers in their cars, you can plug in their license plate information there. It has a screensaver, so that'll tell you how quickly this turns off. It lets you customize the video frequency. USB mode is if you want to plug this directly into the computer. I haven't really messed with that. The key mode is it makes a beep when you touch things. The speaker allows sound to come out of the back speaker of it. The boot up, it has a sound when it starts up. I turn that off. Stream mode is if you have that turned on, it'll activate the back camera when that's plugged in. And then it has the language. You can set the time and date, format the card, reset to default settings. So that's kind of all your setting options. Now the touchscreen itself also does stuff. So you can swipe up, let's see. Oh, sorry, down, and you can change your kind of viewing angle of the camera. So you can kind of play with that. And then if you swipe over, it'll bring up the play screen so you can watch a video that it just recorded. And then there's an option here in the middle too. Oh, that brings you up your settings. And then over here, so it's kind of divided in thirds. Oh, this is changing the brightness of the screen. So, and then this was the angle that the camera is viewing at. And then that's the play mode again, sorry. Whoops, see now, see, as you can see, it was playing there. And then here, basically it's divided in thirds. Each third does something when messing with it. But so that's basically the setup. So you're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you kind of my little rough, quick install of this into the car. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are in my car. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing installed. and kind of show you the kind of how everything goes together. All right, here we are in the car. So kind of forgive the less quality here of this video, but we're going to kind of show you how this all gets roughly installed. So with the mirror, once again, you're going to take these little straps here, go ahead and get them attached on the one side. And then you're just going to slide it over your existing mirror. Now, you want to make sure the power button is on the bottom and all the controls are on the top. And then you just kind of slide this over. And, you know, I did it the other way. It's kind of easier to attach these on the top here. So let's do it that way. Get it all nice in position here, and then just clip them on. And as you can see, it's perfectly clear, easy to install. Now, I have the garage door button, so sliding it over a little bit so I can access that first one. That doesn't interact with the camera. It does put the speaker behind my mirror, but that's not a big deal because you can still hear it just fine. So then I'm going to take the USB, or sorry, the cigarette lighter cable here. And this you will plug in at the top. And it may actually be easier to do this before, but we'll go ahead and do it now. So it goes in this way. If I can get it installed here, or get it plugged in, would be the right way. There we go. All right, so and we'll run that around, and then you're going to kind of tuck this up in the front here, up around your glass. Now, once again, if you have trouble with this, that's what that little plastic tool is for. That's what this little guy is for, is to kind of help push these wires in further into place. So you're going to run it along in here, and then when you get to your dash, you're going to have kind of options, and this is all going to vary depending on your car, of what kind of setup you have. But you may have to take off the little top dash part to get it all nice and concealed. And once again, if that's kind of one of those things, if you're not comfortable with that, you know, you may get a mechanic to do that for you type situation. But for now, I'm just going to run it kind of like this. And then you can run it underneath, tuck it up back, so that way it stays all hidden and concealed. And then you're going to plug it into the cigarette lighter, which mine's down here underneath. So, and then this guy, once again, so here, this, like I said earlier in the video, this is meant for the back of your car, and you plug this into your rear lights, so that way it knows when you're backing up. But you know, I have a backup camera. I don't need that. Obviously, I won't be able to record with my backup camera, but for a rideshare, to me, this is great up here because you can record your passengers. And it can be mounted here with the sticky tape and a screw. It can also be mounted here with just some sticky tape. And then you'll just plug it in right up here on the top, like so. And if not, then you'll drape this through. You got two routing options. Usually in a car, you drape it along here, along the top, and go all the way back. And you will have to drill a hole to get the wire through in your back of your car. Or you can come down and run along the floorboards and tuck everything in there. So those are kind of the two paths that most cars have for this cable. If you're not going to put it here, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I think install it right here. And I'll go ahead and cut this off and then splice it together with the wires and use some electrical tape. So that way my my cable's not as long, because obviously it doesn't need to be this long. So, and that's kind of it. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of clarification on how all this puts together. But as you can see, the mirror is a lot bigger than what I had, and quite clear. So it's a cool setup, and that's basically it. So until the next review, you guys take it easy. Feel free to hit me up in the comments below. I do typically respond. So if you have any questions or comments, and be sure to share and like the video. And if you have not already done so, please do subscribe. Till the next one. Later. You, my friend, are awesome, because you made it to the end of the video. Now, if you want to be a true legend in my eyes, please hit that subscribe button. And in the meantime, if you want to check out some other videos, I would appreciate it. Till the next review, you guys take it easy.